Science is the key to our future, and if you don't believe in science, then you're holding everybody back. Bill Nye. Hello, today I'm going to be discussing why I believe that Bill Nye is the most successful climate change speaker of our generation. I got to watch Bill Nye as a child growing up as Bill Nye the Science Guy, and I got to watch him transition from Bill Nye the Science Guy into the climate advocate that I now know him as. Let's talk a little bit about who Bill Nye is. Bill Nye graduated with a BS in mechanical engineering, a bachelor's of science mechanical engineering from Cornell, and shortly after his graduation, he actually ended up working at Boeing. And then in 1993, he became Bill Nye the Science Guy, and his television show ran until 1998. And far after that, if I'm being honest, because the first time I saw one of his shows was in 2010. The three things that Bill does really, really well that makes him such a successful speaker and advocate is that he builds upon his own credibility as Bill Nye the Science Guy and as a scientist. He knows his audience really, really well, and he uses Monroe's sequence steps every single time that he speaks. I would like to talk first a little bit about his credibility and how he builds upon it. A common phrase that Bill used throughout his educational series was, "It's time to put on our safety glasses." And in 2019, when he went on John Oliver's show and talked about the climate crisis, he ended his speech by saying, "Time to take off the safety glasses," and he threw them. This was really effective in communicating his message for two reasons. The first one being that any of us who grew up with him knew this phrase to be a little bit different and to say, "Put our safety glasses on." So hearing him say that we needed to take them off is something that's shocking, and it mirrored the message that he was trying to achieve, which is we are in a climate crisis. And the second point of that is that he was a man wearing a lab coat. So if you didn't know who he was and you saw him and you saw he was asking you to take off your safety glasses, once again, it's something that's quite shocking and adds to his message that we are in a crisis. The second thing that he does really effectively is he knows his audience really well. Like I said, in that 2019 video, he actually knew that he was going to present mostly to Gen Z and millennials who grew up watching him, which is why he chose that statement. And he elaborates on this in an article that was written in 2022 by Marieke Makowski that was published at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He states that he knew that our generation needed tips and tricks in order to pay attention to a presentation. He later describes how when he filmed his documentary about climate change, it was for a general audience, he changed his messaging and he presented the information in a calm way over and over again to make his messaging more effective for the audience he was presenting in front of. And lastly, he uses Monroe's motivated sequence every single time that he speaks. He always starts off his videos with an attention getter or his speeches with an attention getter. Then he presents the problem or the need very effectively and in a clear way. He then provides his solutions or walks the audience through their own solutions before adding visualization to those solutions, whether it be through statistics or film that he had taken or that he had been a part of. And then lastly, he always ends with a very strong call to action. In conclusion, the use of his credibility, his audience awareness, and the use of Monroe's motivated sequence is why I find him to be the most successful climate change advocate of our time. I'd like to finish with a quote by Bill Nye, which says that in order to leave the world better than we found it, we might have to pick up other people's trash. Thank you.